Central Pro-Am Association, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's show. This week our anglers head into northwest Arkansas's Beaver Lake for the second stop of the Freedom Tour, but they've met up with extremely cold temperatures and late season snows. Let's see how those anglers face these tough conditions. After fantastic fishing 2 weeks before the tournament, the fishing almost came to a standstill when the snow fell.
Basically, that was my day. I spent the whole day in the river. I fished from where the Warrigal dumps into White all the way up to White. I went up the river and thought I had a terrible practice. Caught one big Kentucky off of a bluff on a jerkbait. Had a couple other bites on a jerkbait.
Lots of our anglers were throwing stick baits that weekend, with some of the bigger fish coming on those suspending baits. We'll see how much those pre-spawn bass weighed as we head back to the day one weigh-in at Beaver Lake. But before that, Central Pro-Am Division angler Bobby Sullivan has our tip from the top, so stay right here.
You know, I started out with a jerk, 4-second pause, and I missed too big. So then I decided to speed it up. I knew I was going either way too fast or way too slow. So I just went jerk, pause, jerk, and you never felt the bite, but when you started to jerk it, the fish would just be on it, just load up on it. So, and that seemed to be the better method for me today, was to work the bait kind of quick.
Welcome back to the Freedom Tour event on Beaver Lake. Despite the cold weather and icy conditions, lots of nice fish were being brought to the stage. Rick Hennon from Hutchinson, Kansas joins us now. Boy, your hands are cold. Where you been?
Fishing that fish out of the live well.
Fishing that fish out of the live well. One bass in there for Rick today. Good fish, Rick.
Thank you.
4.10 pounds. That's a big bass right now. And you've got the lead in the amateur division. That's a great start.
Good start.
Good job. How many bass do you have today?
I've got 4.
4 bass. Now, was the fishing better today than it had been in practice?
Really not. I just slowed down a lot more.
Just tried to get a little more thorough. 4 bass, 9.50 pounds. That's the leader right now in the pro division, Jim Akins, ladies and gentlemen.
Make it look real big.
You want me out of the picture if you want it to look big. Beautiful largemouth bass right there out of Beaver Lake. Boy, this is a good sack of fish here. 12.35 pounds, 12.35. Great start, 4.40. Now, you know if we have a tie for big bass, Buster, we're going to have an overtime fish-off tomorrow to break the tie. Did you lie to me yesterday a little bit about not catching any fish in practice?
No, I just got lucky today.
Can you catch them again tomorrow?
I don't know. I got lucky today. If I can get lucky 2 days in a row, I will.
12 pounds currently leading, a little over 12 pounds currently leading the pro. I can't even hardly talk. Not anymore. 16.15 pounds. How many bass do you have in that bag?
3.
3 bass. Who'd you fish with today?
Roger.
Oh, Roger was good to you, wasn't he? Currently leading the amateur division for 10. Not anymore. 8.75 pounds. 13.55 pounds, Kelly. Can you catch them again tomorrow?
Hell, I don't know. I hope I didn't catch them all today. If everything goes right, I can, but who knows?
Buster didn't have a smallmouth.
Oh, he did. Well,
No, he had all other kinds of fish.
well, great.
He had 4 carp and a gar. Fish and stuff, so we let him weigh them. 5 bass today, Timmy. Good job. Good start. 10.20 pounds. 10.20, Timmy. Great job. Looks like you got big bass right now. 6.45 pounds. 6.45. Wow, look at that fish. Holy cow. Great job. How'd you catch that big fish?
I caught it on a Smithwick Road.
Caught it on the Smithwick Road. What area of the lake you fishing?
Just right around here close.
Good job. We're going to fish the same area as tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I learned a little bit. My partner's got 3 pretty nice ones, and he showed me a little trick. You know, I didn't get to come down. I only got 1 day of fish, and I never had a bite Friday, and so I just had to kind of go for broke today. I went to a totally different area, and there's some fish in there.
Who turned the dogs out?
He found the dog. Who let the dogs out?
Somebody let the dogs out.
Bobby Sullivan joins us on the stage next from Cape Fear, Missouri. How you doing today?
I'm not doing as good as that guy. I didn't get the dogs in my boat today.
How many bass you got, Bob?
Got a limit.
Limit of bass. That's just about the 5th, 6th limit, something like that. Been a tough bite. You worked hard for these fish. 13.80 pounds. Now let's talk about these fish out here. How many keepers did you have today?
Caught 6 keepers. Caught 1 fish.
6 keepers today. Did you leave the area or did you wear your fish out?
I really had to work hard to get a limit. I got a limit about, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, and culled, and then I got a cull up one after that. But so I had to work real hard to get a limit. Then I finally caught 1 cull fish. I don't know what the weather's supposed to do tomorrow. The last thing I heard was clear blue skies and cold. Now they're telling me it's supposed to snow. So I don't know. You know, if it stays like this, I think it's going to take 30 pounds plus. But I was predicting 22 pounds to lead it before today. So, you know, I don't know. I think the fish will bite, whatever the weather is. If the guy can stand it, so I'll say yes, it's going to take 30 pounds to win it.
All right, Bobby. Good luck to you tomorrow. 12.85. 12.85. Great job. Now, you struggled a little bit. You were telling me yesterday this is kind of a tough bite. What'd you do to have to get these fish to bite?
Caught most of them on a leg strike jig today.
Jeff Roy joins us next, amateur division competitor. How you doing, Jeff?
Good.
Good. How many bass you have in that sack?
2.
2 bass for Jeff Roy. Well, you're right there at the log jam of the amateurs. 4.80 pounds. Nice job, bud. Buster Loving's big bass and heavy stringer have set the pace in the pro division on day 1, with Kelly Williamson and Bobby Sullivan following close behind. In the amateur division, John Matt has a big lead over the rest of the field. Stay tuned, and in just a few moments, we'll see how these anglers fared on day 2. Early springtime fishing can be tough on any Midwestern lake, and Beaver Lake is no exception. Sometimes it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time.
I thought, well, maybe if I start on that bank Sunday, last day, maybe I can get catch fish off of it. So after I caught the second one, I told my partner, I said, just kind of get used to your surroundings because we'll stay here all day. So we just went back and forth on that bank all day, catching one about every hour.
Our cameras saw lots of fish that day, and several nice ones were being brought to the scales. When we come back, we'll see how our anglers fared on day 2. Day 1 totals were pretty evenly matched, but some anglers find that special technique to produce those bigger sacks of fish. How many bass you got today?
I've got 4.
4 bass today. Did you have a chance for the 5th?
Have you ever thought about taking a pair of some dental floss and tying it to a wild horse and trying to hold on to it?
I thought maybe I had something in my teeth when you started saying that. Dental floss and a wild horse. You got a story here.
Well, I caught all my fish on 4-pound test line, and this morning I throwed it in a cedar tree. Of course, you know, I like to do things difficult. Caught them on an 1/8 ounce crappie jig.
Today, all weekend, an 1/8 ounce crappie jig in a cedar tree with 4-pound line.
Well, beside it.
Beside the cedar tree. And what happened?
I don't want to talk about it. It was a mean dude. That's all I can tell you.
You never did see it.
Well, good enough.
Was it a bass or was it a striper?
It was a nice bass.
Currently leading the tournament 16.15 pounds. Timmy had 10.20 yesterday. We're going to add to that 9.95 pounds. There's a new leader right now in the Pro Division, Tim Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Roy joins us next, also fishing the Amateur Division. Jeff had 1 bass yesterday. Oh, 2 bass that weighed 4.80 pounds. You were way up there in the money yesterday. How many do you have today?
2.
2 bass. Currently leading the Amateur Division, 8.75 pounds. His bass today weighs 6.75. 2-day total, 11.55 pounds. You're the new leader in the Amateur Division. Jeff Roy, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bobby Sullivan from Cape Fear, Missouri. He had 13.80 pounds today. Currently in the lead, Timmy Taylor with 20, well, not anymore. 5 bass, 13.20 pounds, Bobby. Nice job. Yeah, shoot, yeah, clap for yourself. You were just out of the top 10 yesterday. Your 3 bass today, 8.80 pounds, 880. 2-day total for you, Brian, 18.40 pounds. That's going to get you a paycheck. Congratulations. 2.25 pounds. Greg, what happened?
I was catching them on a spinnerbait real shallow, and I was a little worried this morning. We woke up and it was cold, and they just didn't bite. I ended up going to a little worm, and I caught several fish. I caught probably 8 or 9 fish today. Well, probably 10 or 12 fish today. Just 1 keeper, though.
Yesterday's leader coming to the stage right now, Buster Loving from Rockaway Beach, Missouri, had 5 bass that weighed 16.15 yesterday. They're going to have to weigh just under 11 pounds today, Buster. How many you got in there?
Got about half of that.
What happened out there?
I don't have any excuses. I got fished my spots and got 3 bites and caught all of them. Had 2 keepers. Just didn't get lucky.
Just didn't have enough bites today to do it. 6.10 pounds, Buster. 6.10 pounds. Right now, 22.25 pounds. That's second place in the Pro Division. Congratulations, Buster. We'll see how that holds up for you. Thanks for fishing with us. Currently leading the tournament, 27 pounds.
Nope.
2 bass, Kelly, 3.45. Kelly fishes for Lucky Strike USA. What happened to those fish?
Sullivan caught them all.
Was you up there with Bobby fishing the same areas?
Yeah, I watched him catch all of them.
That's got to be disheartening. You guys were kind of in a foot race right there. You were in 5th place yesterday. He was in 4th. Everything right there close. You're fishing for the same fish. He got the bites today and you didn't.
Yeah, they just seemed like that. I was on one side and he was on the other, and they went his way instead of mine.
All right, Kelly. Thanks much for fishing with us. So you need about a 7-pounder.
No.
Just 1 bass in there today. Boy, it's a good fish, though. It's going to move you right on up. 3.20 pounds. 7.30, your 2-day total. Great job, bud. You're going to get some money. Doris, I didn't see you up here yesterday.
No, didn't get anything yesterday.
No fish yesterday. Boy, you've got one today, though, and this is a nice one. 4.70 pounds. Big bass? Let's get a picture of that fish, Taurus. Great job. Jim had 4 bass yesterday that weighed 9.50 pounds, currently leading the tournament 27 pounds. Bobby Sullivan is doing that. It's going to take 18 pounds or so for you to take the lead. How many do you have today?
I've got 5, but they won't weigh 18.
Won't weigh 18, but you caught 5 bass. Now, you struggled down here a little bit in practice. Let's call this weight, and we'll talk about that. Good sack of fish, Jim. 5 bass, 11 pounds even. How'd you catch those fish?
I caught them all on a brown Akins jig.
A brown Akins jig. Do you ever throw anything different?
Yeah, I throw a black one once in a while. Thursday I didn't get a bite. Friday I had 1 keeper bite and 3 short bites. And I went back to where I had that 1 keeper bite, and I just sat down and sat there, and I caught 4 yesterday. I didn't lose any fish. I didn't have any problems. I went back there this morning and couldn't get a bite. So I moved to another place that looked a little bit like it and caught 1 there, and I sat there, and at 12 o'clock I had a limit.
Had 10 keepers and caught them all on a jerk bait, various colors, using that Lucky Craft bait in 5 different colors. And the fish were from like 2 foot off the bank to maybe 8 or 10 foot off the bank, but still shallow, 2 to 6 foot of water.
Bobby Sullivan learned enough during practice to know that the patterns he had developed would not work during the tournament days. And then he had the patience to stick with his new plan. In a minute, we'll return and find out exactly how Bobby did it. Our Central Pro-Am anglers are really dedicated and certainly know how to persevere even under the toughest conditions.
Pulled up on it this morning. Bank was beat up pretty good. No wind. Made 1 pass, got 3 bites, and caught 1 of those, a good largemouth. I didn't realize until I got up there yesterday the water had muddied up. We had a big rain in Arkansas, muddied up the White River, so the fish I caught in practice could no longer fish for. I'm not so sure the bite ever changed. So in this particular tournament, the crucial thing was to get on a bank that there was a lot of dying shad on.
Join us next time as the Freedom Tour moves down the White River to Missouri's Table Rock Lake. If you'd like to be a member of the Central Pro-Am Association or fish the next tournament coming up, write us at Central Bowling.